factor to those rotations is going to be Ara. He can quickly reposition, now finding himself up in Heaven B just as the forces are rallying to push on forward. They heard someone drop down, but still wary of a trap being set. Nicely done by Echo, but Flickless! He's got 4, and Nekky's all alone on the other side of the map. The spike down, and a solid start to split for GX by the looks of things.
Yeah, I think we saw the pistol stats at the beginning. It was something like 77%, which is truly absurd statistics to go alongside this squad. Getting those early starts has been a big part. And as it was mentioned on the desk, their defense of this map has been fantastic. Normally starting out on the attack side a lot of the time and having to sort of bring the game back into their favor. This time they get to start on the stronger side of the map for them. Maybe a choice being made by Eternal Fire. And now for nekky.
30 seconds left.
The problem he has now is that time has gone so far that the GX players have realized that even if he grabs the spike from here on out, he's going to have to go towards B. So they can just stack on the B side. They don't actually have to defend it aggressively.
Yeah, I think Flickless just saw it still there as well. 12 seconds. The round's already theirs.
10 seconds
but
left.
Flickless wants that final kill, and he'll get
That's not what you want to see. Especially with a lot of the talking points of this squad recently have been how good Ara's been, how good Westside's been, and maybe at some points that Flickless hasn't been having the greatest of games with all the role swap he's having to do. That is a very, very good way to start out the game.
He's been someone that has been picking up the pace as
He's
time's gone on. Echo might not have been spotted there. Jumps up the rope and catches Ara off guard. Puts him to bed early. And for GX, that's one of the big rifles that they've got down inside of A main. Echo not looking to stop anytime soon. This is the role of a Viper, but going through that smoke, it's a little much. And Cloud will punish GX. Now able to give up that control in Heaven, trading out for the man advantage, and Grubinho makes it even better with the snakebite aiding. The Spectre deadly from the wall, and Eternal Fire stepping into every trap. GX 3v1 even with nekky finding the first. It would need to be a huge clutch.
It seems like this is turning from a blip into more of a nightmare. Izzy will at least be able to find a response, but again, it's at the cost of another player. Echo gone once more. They do have a bit of an opening towards this A side of the map. It definitely seems like Izzy is aware that someone could be in this corner. Pinging close, but no, never mind, it's not checked. It's traded eventually, and they still need to deal with Ara within the site to level things up. His teammates are far away, but he's doing well, holding his ground, making sure the back of the site can't be cleared, making sure this doesn't end up in an equal scenario. And now, once again, with a teammate nearby, nekky's in trouble.
Yeah, he's been spotted as well. Barrel gave him away. Slips to the site, but he's been seen yet again. Standing his ground. It is always better to find the win in your sails in that second half.
If you get a chance to.
But that's the thing. you really need some sort of runway to build up that speed. Get back into the game right now. Opening pick goes to GX. Nekky again.
Thus far, but yeah, that 4v3 looked dangerous. Now the Prowler's gone through. Flickless timing once again. He's been spotted though. A solo fight. Favian goes back alone. And a response being attempted by Izzy again though. They've at least been able to trade onto one. Ara's ultimate popped in the form of the overdrive, and Flickless taking space. He'll be dropped, leaving just one alone. A 1v2
play. If he just took another millisecond to let go of that W key and his little crouch forward. Luckily though.
Nothing on it, nothing on it.
Mid. I cannot.
Okay, I want to push it.
To mid.
I will just flash, I will not.
Running me down, groupie.
I'm ready to help you.
Be heaven. To be heaven. B split looks like, guys.
I'm running. Nice voice.
Two more. Heaven, one B main should be.
You know
What
what?
I meant.
One more, Raptors.
Raptor. That's a no.
No info last. I have DP. Go to them, Cloud. Yeah. I can see smoke B main. Are you holding everything?
I'm getting close to you if you can heal.
Holding everything? Yeah,
I'm holding heaven.
I'm healing.
Nice! Good job, groupie.
do well. Otherwise, they're going to need to make sure he has a strong contract. That's all I'm going to say, and he's there again!
My God!
Well, it's another double. There has been a trade back, though. Flickless is still alive, but he's on the wrong side of the map. Ara just hoping to find one. Before he dips out, we find something. It's a boombot to the face. This is such an aggressive push, though, from Favian. A risk on the outskirts of the pit. He lives to tell the tale, but again, it still feels like he's overcompensating.
Trying to get himself back into the game, but that might scenario. Eternal Fire get out of here with another round, much needed and just in the nick of time. Let's jump in with their team comms.
Default. Vurun onu. Öldü.
Viper yedi ultiyi, Viper yedi.
Öldü.
Nice oğlum.
Açık kuruyorum direkt.
Leon gelecek direkt.
Smoke'ları
Leon'dan.
yok. Smoke'ları main'e çekebilirsiniz.
Nice, nice. Dog açacağım. O AP'yi al, cross koş.
Ben maçtayız beyler.
İlk bir can öldü.
Al AP'yi.
Yakın bir tane daha.
Oh, not really. They're sticking around. Westside, Spidey senses tingling. Ara makes it out of there with a quick slide. Now the ult going through from Westside. It's going to catch two. Caught in the corner was Favian with nothing to do, but audaz fires back. Keeping it possible with the spike rotation, but it's coming through mid, and again, Flickless looks to be the man to do the damage to win the round, and we just about catch it as the spike hits the ground. The round is basically over. 20 seconds. Players surrounding Izzy in all directions, and up in hand, he's not going for it, surely. That off carries more value.
Holding. The thing is, for Eternal Fire, I don't think it matters too much, and there's all the info they need. Everybody going to be sticking around this angle, just looking for the straight-up firefight, the slow drone in, and they're just getting obliterated. Echo turns up to the scene only to see the corpses of his teammates. That was a nice couple of shots,
30
but
seconds left.
he's still got 3 players on the site to deal with. 25 seconds, and they are going to peek him together. They're going to need slightly better than that if they want to close in regulation. And well, I don't know how audaz has managed to react to that so quickly. He's still got further pressure. At least a decent amount of damage done. GX always very good in these pistols. Grubinho is desperately trying to turn the tide. He's done well, but even still, the advantage held. A pause in momentum for a second. Favian in a bit of an open spot, but even still it comes down to a 1 versus 2. Isolated fight still.
Full push from GX, and that puts nekky in an awkward position. Surviving here might even be enough, but he's dropping in. He's looking for some, and finding Ara is a big pickup.
Yeah, I guess in rounds like this, you're going to take risks. The funny thing is, I don't think it would have made a difference if this was a 4-buy. I think he would have done that anyway. Grubinho maybe not expecting anybody this soon. He definitely wasn't. A Spectre at that range. An upgrade now for Favian. And he has started to spring to life. A couple of big rounds for him individually. A judge in the hands of Izzy. He can close the distance fast, but they still need to clear that site.
Oh, nice shot by Cloud, but more needed. Eternal Fire steaming towards the site. Izzy gonna spot one, but Flickless is just gifted kill after kill. Favian with it all to do. The nade buys him time. The blast pack could do the same, but he loses the first fight, and now time against him. A chokehold. Here's the steps though, and swing. We saw it from 7-1 down as well. Going into round 9, they just ran it down. They played aggressive, and it's working every time. Echoes
so much
right
he gets
through.
away with this.
Caught Ara. Got his ult up as a response, so B Heaven is on lockdown, and they think they can walk into vents. But Favian, our 1-8 superstar, has turned up today.
Hello.
But he's been turned down in vents. Favian and Izzy falling, numbers back to even. Viper's Pit going to be completely abandoned. The Seekers go to B Heaven ×2, but they don't know the rotate's already come into play. Standing on site is nekky, who's dropped immediately, and now Eternal Fire, they're on the back foot. From a 5v3, it's 2 against the numbers trying to retake.
This might be a great example of the ebb and flow. Giveth and it taketh.
But when you take risks for advantages and keep on taking risks, eventually it's going to fire right back into your face. But Favian has caught Cloud chasing Ara. And the spike gifted as a result. Outside B, there's only one player. It's just Ara to hold, and they'll trade out easily. The spike is theirs, and from 2 sites to defend. Instead, there's just 1 spot on the map for the entirety of the defense to hold.
Still fighting this.
And of course, Echo's holding A Heaven. Naturally.
Technically, he is stopping them from flanking through A, but like, he takes the first battle, gets spotted, and they're just still going. This is
game over, man. Well, early attack from Izzy. He's going to be shut down. The aggression not paying off. Let's listen to what GX do with this.
Side. Get him, boys.
City. Dead.
I got Heaven, boys.
One city, one more. Big city on me.
I hear you. Heaven out.
City.
Heaven out.
Heaven. Maybe on rafters. Still on rafters. Low. I dinked him. Grub is holding rafters.
Nice!
Good job. Nice round.
Eternal Fire, no though. Look how far up Izzy is already. He's got full B main control within the first 5 seconds. Oh, timing.
Stun landed as well. Makes himself harder to hit, and in the meantime, audaz trades out too. I mean, look, Not as bad as it
Where
could have
you
been.
go? Oh my
Flickless
God.
had the ult, but he can't place it. Shut down by Echo with the early.
People out there, I know that like people watch VCT and they go, I'm going to do that stuff in my rank game. If you ever watch Echo play, don't do any of what he's doing. You can't do this. You
He
can't.
must have the hood off as well. Like, could be a day, could be alone. Oh, here comes the showstopper. Insult to injury at 11-11, a full buy for GX. Everything on the line here. Remember, they're fighting for their survival. An Eternal Fire bouncing back into this map may just be the Shepherd's vitality needed, keeping their dream of playoffs alive as Echo hammers a shot to Cloud. Izzy in with another. And the gatekeepers slamming shut the portcullis. As GX have to flee B main, a 2v4 presented, and you know what that means? Someone on Eternal Fire is going to push.
Yeah, they already know they're boxed in. Most teams at this point might try and double back towards mid. They know they are locked in. They know they have to kill someone, so they might as well continue the direction they're going. And Izzy with a missed shot has given an opportunity. Another piece of utility, but they're slowly being surrounded on.
One by one.
Flickless. Looking to try and make his move. Favian. That flank is coming ever faster, and that's why the rest of the players, audaz and nekky, are being a little bit smarter about this, taking their time. Smoke fades, that one's free, and then
1 and 8.
18 and 14 right now. Pretty decent second half from Favian. And he's looking to maybe try and add another one to the body pile. He's got support from audaz, but it is the Favian show. He's gonna go!
Oh, well, let's see if that converts to round and map wins. Eternal Fire wasting no time
Izzy
getting
is
into
the
the A
drone.
site. He's already cleared everything. The flash through. God catches Izzy, but Echo is the one to land on the Flickless. The man who aced the pistol round to start out the previous, but we have a new contender. Westside, one shot away. audaz is on 15. A bullet to the chest will lock in. Another pistol round ace.
My God. I know something that Pipson has been practicing on the training ground. It's just those pistol rounds. What an insane recovery. Like the 3 shots in quick succession. The rest, okay, it was a little bit more labored, but the first 3 were absolute filth of what could have been another.
GX in map number 1, it took them close to their destination before they started taking in water. Well, there's a leak. Westside domed right after his ace as he's caught in his dog with utility out. They're closing the distance now. Eternal Fire have Flickless to deal with. Favian's found another. The numbers thinning. The herd is not looking healthy as another finds its way into Eternal Fire's hands. An ace in the pistol. And now they're on the back foot. What a shot from Echo. He won't find the last, but Grubinho has 3 players to take down. The thing is, they have to come to him. That's the spike on the floor, but he's setting up a smoke. He's setting up a smoke, and he could have been caught, but somehow he's managed to slip by undetected. I think he's given himself enough space that he doesn't even peek through that smoke. This is a nasty position, but the man he's set up to kill, did he just dog himself?
Yeah, I think
he just dog himself?
He's just dogged himself. I've never seen anyone do that before. Attack side of this map, of course, this is all the way back in week 1, so they've had time to change this map around, maybe been saving it for a special moment, although they are already qualified. Maybe they're just looking to test it, but it doesn't seem like much needs testing. Echo frying. And well, hour now left to fight versus 3. This was the first proper buy that they got, and he's got to go for something here. He's got to try something. He's made out. I think even that's a bit of a surprise.
Obviously, they just got stomped on a buy round. But they're going for a different idea. Let's push down mid, let's create that pressure. Previously, we caught Echo there with the spike, this time without the spike. And the B side will find a plant there. But there is a rifle to be recovered. It's a little out of position and probably defended. We can see that it is. Izzy is holding it, or was holding it. So they won't even recover that, which is a bit of a downside. But if they can keep trades going, at least make it costly, because Eternal Fire's money is going to get out of control.
I was going to say, this is a bit of an audacious angle from audaz. I guess it's in the name. What? Okay. Well, that was a very nice shot from Aaron. He's given Flickless a chance. A man who was phenomenal, but it comes
up in play. A lot of ults for Eternal Fire. Pressure already put on, and Salvo's guiding, but Flickless has a little gap indeed. He'll survive, but Izzy's on him fast, not expecting him to be so close. They thought that space was clear, but it doesn't matter. Not when Favian steps up to the plate like that. A plant secured. And they've not only got that ultimate for repositioning, they've got stars for post planted.
He goes through it.
What is with these guys?
That's just disrespectful. He puts it down and goes, well, no one's going to expect this. And he was right. Left onto Arrow. Oh, that was his chance. Now he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. Two players on either side of an impossible battle. Even flashes coming through. Extra utility to make sure that he can't even get on that diffusal. Fabian's just being a nuisance, just being annoying, just dancing around the edge of that site. Another flash in. And
as we said, a big round for GX. It was much needed because now they're back into a low buy, an Eternal Fire, build up credits, build up momentum. The advantages keep stacking still.
Okay.
There's some contest from GX here. They've even managed to recover.
Unfortunately, they don't do that. Careful isn't in the manual. It never has been, never will. They've just spammed Cloud out through the Viper screen, and you can kind of understand the attempt to retreat, get the heals, but they don't even have the spike, by the way. Just bear that in mind, where the attackers currently sit and where by their opponents. An opportunity for GX to now wrap around. The question is anybody watching it? Not really is the answer. Audaz is still fighting. He's still fighting even with the spike. Just goes back, but even still they brought it back into a 1 versus 1. You almost feel like it would be justice for GX to win this round. But I'm not sure there's any justice in this world. Timing, it's not great. A look away from Echo, but he doesn't take a lick of damage. 20 seconds. Flickless is realizing he's got to run towards him. He's got to run into the crosshair. Looks to take the timing peak. Looks to take the fight. And Echo might just opt to avoid it.
10 seconds left.
Hightail it towards the site, but knows that his opponent could be from anywhere. Has to try and get that plant in. Here's the steps are coming, but sticks the plant anyway. Absolutely no fear, but needs to turn around from behind. He's managed to avoid him. Fire, and they've opted to now avoid that Echo alone. And there was no response this time. You mentioned that 1-2 punch of him and Izzy, but this time it was just one punch. Leaves Westside still in position, and now the full force of GX are slowly surrounding them, boxing them in paranoia, puts them in an awkward position, but they're still, again, they're coming out on top. Surrounded, it seems. The Viper's pit's gone. Cloud needs a hero play, and that's 2. He's done well to at least make this one close, but that spike plant was a bait. It was a tap just to try and pull players in, and it worked. Leaves Cloud
backing off, and it will be a 5-man hit. This is where Flickless was taken out immediately by the op before. He's given no retreat. He's stunned up by the special delivery, and Izzy's got something else for him. A shot from the op drops him, and the A site is theirs. The Viper's pit cutting off a vital rotation path. And where did GX go from here? Late flank even coming in from Izzy, who's 1 away from ult.
He's going to peak. At some point, this operator is going to swing, and they've got to be ready for it. And a long flank, Nekky behind. He could be the nail in the coffin. It just depends if there's anybody left to place in them. Such aggressive positions, but there you go. 2 quick trades back, give them an opportunity. Back within the pit. An operator there is not particularly ideal. Echo, though, still going strong, but they're just sticking this all the way. They're trying to get it across the line. Only one man stands, and they will hold their ground.
Dominant half from Eternal Fire.
So, okay, this time, this is much better from Cloud. I think he had the expectation that they were going to try again and do the same Teo ult. So he's just immediately thrown that through to deny. Drops Nekky, makes sure there's no response. Instead, though, Grubinho might be under some serious pressure. This advantage might dissipate, but they push the judge. Leaves an even trade, and Arrow so quick on the flank. It is smoked off for now. That smoke is going to fade. He missed.
Yeah, that's tough.
Why are you fighting that?
Jump peeking that with the Neon ult as well. The op's going to come back out eventually. Got to be scared of the walk up on that Cosmic Divide, but for Eternal Fire, where do you go now? It looks like they're going to isolate the fight up against the op. It's an audacious play, but it works out. Favian's caught him. And with audaz firing towards the back of the side, he'll put it down to a 1v1. No flash online for 8 seconds, and he's straight in.
The economy of Eternal Fire would have been in the bin for this last round. That genuinely could be the difference between a 7-5 and a 9-3 half. And did he shoot the spray?
You could tune into separately. We just have one of Pipson's camp. I'd have it open on one of the monitors.
Oh, they are now doing that execute, but it's a bit more of a ruse. Before they all went through them. the choke. Instead, they're wrapping around the side. It's forced them into the open, but there are 4 players here. This is a very good read. They still expected it, but maybe not the wrap-around. Decent work from Ara. Nekky now in the clutch. Of course, his ultimate's just been utilized, and the spike probably couldn't be in a worse position, but Ara's low.
Ara's going to peek as well. He's holding the angle, but as he goes out, Necky's waiting for him in the train.
Guys, I'm gonna...
I'm ratting flank. Caroline, I'm planting. I have dog.
I go here, backside.
I have flank,
plant, guys. If they
Take a walk tunnel.
I'm holding tunnel.
Spike planted.
I'm holding tunnel.
They put star on this.
Can you hold... Wait, I'm holding... Wait.
Guys, I'm dogging tunnel.
Wait, plant, Tara. Okay.
I still have.
Go, go, go.
Guys, One more flank.
Look, here,
broken,
let's
one
hold
broken,
CT
one
together.
broken.
Yeah, 3, 2. Hold.
One broken. I jiggle tunnel. One more flank.
Go back.
Flank.
Let me jump. One broken. Don't block. Tara.
I'm holding broken.
I'm
broken on flank.
Broken one.
Broken 1 HP, 1 HP, 1 HP. Chill now. 1 HP.
I'll pick.
Nice. Good job, let's go.
Put in from mid. I like this from GX. Being a bit more dynamic with it, not as predictable. Izzy now having to react, and the main control is what they'll fight for. He's found one on site. Necky's holding the line behind the wall. This playthrough mid has really left Grubinho isolated and alone as the rest of the squad falls, and Necky's back into position, but Flickless lands the first shot for GX. Many more players to deal with, and they're taking it slow. I like this. They want to catch another player off before that retake starts, and Flickless has done just that with Cloud doubling up in the doors. GX won't let this one slip all too easily.
They'll echo a little bit ahead of the curve in my mind. Audaz was just
There's
about
the dog now. Bit of fake presence towards B as Eternal Fire wait further back. The Outlaw shot's not landing for the kills that need to be found, but Flickless, reliable as always. He's found himself a triple, and they're trying to deal with him, but he's hungry for another ace!
That was his second ace earlier.
This should be his third, yeah.
Yeah, so he's already got more aces in this series than he's ever had
Tripled
before.
his numbers here today.
I want to know as well, what's the most aces we've had in a series? Because, and also, if you're on that Viper,
Yeah.
you want to be getting that pit online. Ara already taking space, a more of an aggressive stance. I liked when we saw that on Split, a slightly more direct move, but again, Echo is always in position. That Viper's pit will play no part, and I'm sure they wanted that in through the connector. A great cut-off point. Grubinho's done well. Re-aggressing, but they need so much more, and now they're behind the squads that went 5-0, which, you know, that's fair enough. Favian, oh, he's not expected. Okay, well, a couple of players should be dead in this moment, and somehow it's not Favian. He's managed to get 2, and now Izzy strikes as the defender. Finally, he's been killed off, but it's too little, too late. Grubinho now needs not an ace, but 4. 3. Okay. That was a nice shot. Spike down. But it's defended still from multiple angles. Echo slightly ahead of the curve. But Audaz is just patient. And actually, Grubinho, the thing is, Grubinho has the right read, but at the wrong time. He's expecting someone to come from the window. Yeah, you know, I think I'd rather have winning lock-in and, you know.
I suppose, when you put it that way.
Well, before you think of trophies, you got to think of playoffs, and that is slowly slipping through the fingers of GIANTX in this moment. An early battle that didn't go too bad, but the response once again, the push that's gone all the way down mid. Now, Westside's positioning is not bad, but they've put an orb. They had the orb at this point in the round just to bounce into the window. And then they put it down to check if there's anyone there. Westside's just going to be like, what are you guys doing? Why are you expecting everything?
For EMEA, and it looks like EMEA might not have been ready for Eternal Fire. They are the ones coming through with a style of play that we've seen before, I'll say that, but we've not seen it work. We've seen teams...
A little bit of a Mayday gift. Maybe a drink in the sun. Nonetheless, it's very aggressive, very fast pace, and the battle of the Neons goes the way of Izzy. Operator back out, and the full force of this Eternal Fire side are ready and waiting. Ult sent through, they won't have the backside. And even throwing extra utility, but Grubinho's done fantastically well. It leaves Echo and Audaz both in the same position. Grubinho maybe overstays his welcome a little. Puts this back into a 3v2.
The counter pit, the reaction spam normally there, but Cloud instead wraps around. I love this. A knife in the back already for Eternal Fire. Those shots don't land. Audaz still thriving, and it gets dangerous with Flickless.
How aggressive is he? That's Flickless gone. It's not a man you want to lose. Nice work, Ara. Also has overdrive, and he wins out as well. He might have just saved the round.
I think he did. On 7 HP, surviving as well. The numbers stacked against Echo and Audaz. It wouldn't be the first time that we see them fight their way against the odds back into a round. But this one carries much more weight than any before it. Another chance to end the run of GX. They're slow to approach, and westside is the first guard standing inside main, waiting for the battle. Then he loses. Now the eyes drawn to this position. Both players moving in, limited utility. Stars not set up either. Nothing but their guns, their aim, and their ability to bring them through this.
Nekky with the opportunity to delay. He still has both salvos, a special delivery to go with it, but he is alone.
Yeah, and with the drone gone, they had no chance of spotting it early. So the first time he can call for backup, they're already on the site. Izzy's running in. Izzy's running in! He's gone through both walls! He's taking a fight on backside already! That's completely caught them off guard! Eternal Fire are doing it again! They knew boots on the ground, but they were not afraid! And now Flickless, the last man standing on a team that were next in line for playoffs. But it's looking like a cue that they'll never reach the front of.
Oh no, it's
the
not
smoke's
landed.
blocking off the defuse, and he thinks the snake bite is denying, but it's not even close.